Afternoon Talk on SAFM.
I'm Ashraf Garda. Welcome. Second half of the afternoon talk show. Now, the second half normally, we didn't do it yesterday, but we're certainly doing it now, is we get into the spotlight. We speak to a South African, or person in South Africa, high profile, I should say, and someone who I think that you know very well and will follow that career and have followed that career extensively. Well, today's the turn of Zwai Bala. So great of you to come in, and thanks for... I'm always saying thanks for having coffee with us, because that's really what the mood is all about here, as we sort of chill and as I put you in the spotlight.
Have you checked how hot it is outside today?
Well, it's an absolute... Well, I'll tell you what, it's... At 8 o'clock in the morning, it was an absolute scorcher. And I haven't been out since then.
Yeah, it's 32 degrees Celsius.
So rather be inside than outside.
Yeah.
What are you doing here? Why are you not on the beach or something like that?
I've got a lot of work to do. It's been crazy since last year. And I decided not to... we decided as a family just not to go away because we're so tired, and and also as a musician, man, the rates are so high at that time of the year. It's too expensive.
It's not like you're not making any money. Weren't you guys working? Were you working? I mean, I know there was the Bala Brothers special on TV. Is that right?
Yes.
That was that recorded?
Yeah, it was recorded. Okay. It's off our DVD called Live at Emperor's Palace, which we recorded some time ago. But
live stuff in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I did. Well, a show that I can remember very nicely is the Frank Sinatra and Friends concert that I did down in Cape Town with Richard Koch and Nicholas Nicolaides.
Okay, well, there you are. Hopefully you made some money, so at least you can afford to go on a holiday, as you've suggested, sort of tightening up.
Why not make some more over
well,
the period?
Nothing wrong with that. Okay, if you want to call in as we chat to Zwai Bala, what's the one question you want to ask him? So good chance to do that, and you can do it in many ways. 0891 104207, that's the call-in number. You can SMS to 34701. You can tweet either to me, Ashraf Garda, or to SFM Radio, and do the same on Facebook as well. So all those options are definitely available. Emails we generally read off the air, so it's not going to really work now. However, for you, I mean, what's the most common question people ask you when they meet up with you?
There's just so many different questions, ranging from when can we have another TKZ album, and from different kinds of people. Others, are you really all brothers? Or where's Tukulo? Or where's Loyiso?
Yeah,
they call me Loyiso.
Oh, okay.
And what most journalists ask me is like, so when did it all start?
So when did it all start? Well, I'm not going to ask you when did it all start. Are you all brothers? I had a chat with Loyiso. I know that a couple of months ago. I think he's related to you for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's talk about your family. If we talk about Jomo Sono, just by the way, because we're talking Nations Cup coming up, and his father was Kara Sono, was a legend.
All right.
Many said, right? Of course, we didn't see him. And then like that, you get these, the Tovies. It's not just Neil Tovey. Mark Tovey was also a brilliant footballer. Then in musical terms, I mean, the Bala brothers are quite formidable, isn't it?
Well, I'm happy to know that's what it got to. For me, it was always my vision from long ago. Just how can we strategically just get the brand out there. Hence, I've always just, pushed the brand Bala more than anything. And it was...
So that was that a sort of a systematic decision?
Yeah, certainly.
Because, I mean, the truth is, all of you, or some of you, I mean, do have names in your own right. You mentioned TKZ, but I mean, even yourself as Zwai Bala. It's very easy to say, well, I'll be, I'm just thinking of the Jackson 5. But at some stage, it became Michael and Jermaine, and they were all very, very separate individuals.
Yeah, indeed. But I mean, Janet just fell straight into it.
Yeah,
she didn't have to work as hard.
Yeah.
I mean, as for myself, really, it was like, I guess people have always said, hey man, people that know us from back home, you guys sing so well. When are you ever going to do an album with the family? Your mother has a great voice. Your sister is like, guys, you must just work on this. I mean, I didn't start off with opera right away. I mean, TKZ was a great springboard for what I'm doing today, so it was a nice systematic. I like the way of systematic that you put it. And that I remember the day that we first launched Loyiso was at the Summers. The 1 year. I think it was the year that we won all those awards as TKZ.
And then you had him singing as
And
well.
the first time it's like, there's Loyiso. And I said, no, I won't sing the beginning of We Love This Place. Let Loyiso sing it. And that was the beginning of that.
When did you realize, not you, when did you realize that your entire family is just so super talented? I mean, there must have been a day. And maybe that you were pretty young then.
Yeah, I was very young.
You must have had an awareness to say, goodness, how can we sing better than everybody else?
I like how Loiso likes to explain this. He says he never knew that there were people who couldn't sing.
Okay, he took it for granted that everybody could sing.
And I mean, the way we sang so easily, we just thought, like, it's easy to do this. Why are you struggling?
Okay. But did you know that other people couldn't sing? Because unlike him, he thought everybody could sing.
Well, I mean, growing up and, I guess, I started, in my early age, like around 7. I started realizing, ooh, that's bad. That's like off. It's so off that you're almost harmonizing.
Well, don't ask us to sing or me to sing, because that was knocked out a long time ago. In terms of your work now, what are you doing now?
Right now, I run my own company called Bala Brothers Productions, and we write music from commercials to. Now we started doing movies as well.
Zambezia as well, is that right?
Yeah, Zambezia.
Okay.
I co-composed on that and arranged the voices as well as sung on it. And it's something that I've just finished studying through Berkeley. So that is a world that I've always had an interest in. And we even conceptualize ideas for clients, like for even events, and say, okay, they don't know what to do, just need good entertainment. I'm able to say, look, this is what you need, And then, but in conceptualizing, would that be something that you guys then actually compose and actually sing and deliver themselves? Everything.
Or it's simply, you're not an agent then. You're not an agent for me if the client says we want someone and you say, I think Ashraf can sing better.
I do. Absolutely, I do that. I mean, I've done that for acts like Aubrey Bue and all sorts of people. Like, if I really believe that this is what you need for this particular event, or sometimes some companies need to really look good, and I'll say, look, I've got these young artists that are incredibly talented. You have to look like you're helping out young artists, or like, and really it's like, Zwai, we can't be doing this. What is the equality of gender or this? Like, how can we be empowering people? And I've got young talent actually, and later on I'd like to play you something of one of the girls.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's quite a few comments, certainly Facebook comments, and maybe I'll pick out a couple of tweets as well, just the way it goes. I certainly like the name TKZ. Just historically, just had a great sound to it, right? But we'll talk about that. 0891104207. We're chatting to Zwai Bala, putting him in the spotlight for the next, up to 3:45, in fact. Now, pick out one of the songs that we can use now.
Well, let me actually just also play, maybe just start off with this girl called, she's called Ricky.
Ricky, okay, you got that right? Yeah, Ricky.
Yeah, it's number. It's from. We featured her on our DVD recording live at Emperor's, and she was.
Well, that's not you then.
Yeah, she was 15 years old at the time.
So where are you then? We want to hear you sing.
You want to hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool,
you're in the spotlight, not Ricky.
Okay.
Which one can we play of yours then?
Okay, you can play a song called Ndize.
Okay, Ndize. Let's just check if Patrick's got that. Okay, let's just say so we can get a sense. So people who haven't heard Zwai, but they've heard of him, but I think a lot
of people that have heard me sing, I don't think they've heard me sing like this.
Okay. Well, let's listen to this.
Kukude khaya dilahlekile ndifuna ugoduka khangela phaya nanguthembekile yena uligoduka wayesithi ndize nobolana siyadlala sesimbalwa sendihambe emazweni kodwa etinarha ndiyakhumbula ikhaya la sikhula kwamakhulu kungekho mina engamnandanga singayiboni nalo nhlupheko imini zingafani kwezinye singalali sizililo imincili sasidlala emlanjeni noba ungakanani sade sakhula sasisithi ndize nobolana baveli bayandifunza ndimlo ndinombilini lisithi litshoni langa uyazi ungayigqibanga nangomso yenye imini sasisithi ndize nobolana ndize nobolana siyadlala sesimbalwa.
Well, in that case, we're listening to Zwai Bala. We're also talking to him, putting him in the spotlight. So you did say earlier on that we've never heard you sing like this. Tell us why.
Well, actually, I think just generally, I don't think I'm known much as a singer. People know that I sing, and hence, I mean, this I see as my debut album, because my first commercial album. For so many years, I've kept like putting it off and pushing it back because I just didn't feel I was ready.
Well, what about instrumentals? I mean, do you ever do just instrumentals?
Well, I mean,
of well-known songs.
But I also don't see myself as a instrumentalist.
As that type, which is correct. I mean, so you're sort of true to your brand.
Yeah, and I mean, I wish I could. I practiced more. I spent more time on either singing or playing the piano. But I actually just use those things when I need them, whether I'm teaching or producing or, you know. And I think when we started Bala Brothers, that gave me a chance of actually getting to sing more, because with TKZ, I just never sang.
Someone wants to know, did you and Melanie's son ever end up together?
Wow, I don't know if I should say this. A good question.
Well,
well, she ended up being Melanie Bala.
Yeah, something along that line.
Yeah.
She tweets under that name, by the way. You can check, I think it's Mel, B-A-L-A.
That's
so
right.
There you are. So maybe that should answer that question. I want to pick out some of the other comments because, you know, and then we're going to go back to where it all started for you because we have to.
Okay.
So, but Lulama's asked an interesting one. So what music are you most comfortable singing?
It really, that's why it's so hard for me, because I work with so many different kinds of music all the time. And it really depends. Like this song that you just heard now, I recorded it like in 4 different ways before I chose, like, okay, you know what, I'm just going to have this approach to it. Because I think that is like, it's also like, it's a catch-22 when you're working with so many different genres. Now when it's like, okay, what is it that you do? It's like, what are you listening to in your car right now? And it's like, I'm listening to so many different things. It just depends on what I'm working on, you know.
Because interesting, I see, you know, even your blurb sort of styles you as this crossover musician. How important is that for you? That you not just
I think
one type?
Exactly because I've just been so curious when it comes to music. I'm just too curious. Like I've done a bit of rock, I've done a bit of jazz, and a lot of people know me from gospel. And I think people that knew me even for TKZ, when I did TKZ, they're like, and then we didn't expect you to do this, you know. But really, what it is that you know, I like to mess with things. When I was still at the choir school studying music, I was always looking at like, how can I make this Handel song a little more groovy? I like that melody, but now how can I apply it?
And
into
did people
choir?
discourage you when you did that?
No, I mean, because I'm happy.
Can't do that.
No, but I'm happy that at least what I've done, you know, was a success. I mean, with TKZ, if I were to tell you what I got some of the ideas from, it's ridiculous.
Well, tell us, TKZ.
Speaking of Handel, I mean, there's this one song called Bona Senzani. It's the line, it's actually from an aria on Handel's Messiah.
Wow.
And it's actually a tenor aria, so it's not the main subject, because the main subject is the tenor voice. But actually that line is from the violins. And when I was like around 13, 14 years old, I've always liked that line. And I've always thought, how can I mess with that line? And years later, I put it onto a TKZ.
So I'm thinking, and I'll get to gift in a minute. I'll take your call now, 08911042007. So is the family, the Bala family, I mean, do you guys like literally sing for your supper? When you guys meet, how do you guys greet?
Well,
song?
My wife will tell you. She's like it's just a choral festival every time.
So, all the time?
All the time. No, you know, when they're meeting like new people or, you know, we may try and hold ourselves a little bit maybe for the first 2 hours, especially like amongst like Western folk, you know. It's like when
you mean white folk or what?
yeah. And no, after a while, you know, someone will just hum one song. You remember remember that? Once we sikhululekile, then we are really free. So it happens all the time. Hence, I did the album Bala Family because there were some songs that, whenever there is a mcimbi at home or there's something, I used to hear these songs and I was just so worried that these songs are going to end up in people's heads and they've not been documented. I thought, let's at least write them down or record them,
Okay, let's get to the callers. 0891 104 207. Zwai Bala is who we're talking to. From the Bala brothers, from TKZ, from whatever else he does. It's also described as what a musical entrepreneur. I'll ask him what that really means. Let's get to the callers. Gift in PE. Hi.
Hi, Ashraf, and hi to Zwai.
Hi, Gift.
Sure, Gift.
Ashraf, last week I was watching one of these TV stations and watching Zwai, Loisa, and their younger brother being interviewed on I think it was a gospel show on SABC.
Oh, yes, Gospel Classics.
Gospel
on
Classics.
On Sunday,
Sunday. I was so inspired. I even said to my girlfriend that these three guys are an inspiration to the people of the Eastern Cape, in particular to a town called Utnik, because to me, they are just great ambassadors. Secondly, is the fact that my girlfriend inquired, where do they study music? I said, one of the influential schools which is inspiring in South Africa called Drankensberg Boys High School is one of the schools that have produced these great giants. Because to me, Zwai, Loyiso, and his younger brother are giants. I mean, the way they sing. And my girlfriend's response was that their parents are really given a gift of these three guys. But what I want to say that Zwai, keep on making us inspired. Keep on making Eastern Cape, in particular Utnik, proud, because you are great ambassadors of the Eastern Cape, and not necessarily Utnik, but great ambassadors of South Africa and great ambassadors of Africa, because the role that you are playing in the music industry is very inspiring, in particular to young people. Keep on going back to Utnik and make sure that you inspire those young people. Tell them that there's always a future, there's always tomorrow. And I wish you good luck.
Thank you very much, Gift, and thanks to your girlfriend too.
There you are, nice indeed. Yeah, thanks for that. All right, so Sibu K saying, tell us about producing U's album with. Oh, it's gone with Guffy, I think it is.
With Goofy,
but I've lost it. Okay.
Oh yeah,
tell us about that. Yeah,
I know. Upra Hugh, we've actually become great friends since I worked on that record. He saw me working on a show called Evolution. I don't know if you've ever seen it. SABC likes to repeat it all the time, to my embarrassment.
Well, it's an evolutionary process.
I think it was shot at the end of 2001, 2002. I was still skinny with dreadlocks. And Brahu was one of the guests there because we featured different artists every week. And I was one of the musical directors on the show. And he says that's where he's, he checked out my musicianship. And next thing he asked me to produce his record. Now, you must remember that I grew up just like knowing about Yuma Sekela, and I've always been interested in the notes, you know.
Yeah,
and I used to think, this guy's writing, him and Kaifas. I used to think these guys are phenomenal. And my father was a great fan. And now...
so how did you feel about it? When a legend then says, can you come and collaborate with me?
It was it was phenomenal, overwhelming. And I remember I even got his book. I bought his book. He had just released it, Still Grazing. And I thought, let me just read up, because I like when I'm working with an artist or any musician for that matter to really understand who they are, where they come from, so that I know what it is I'm dealing with. I don't want to just know you as just this trumpet player, and I got to find out a lot of things I never had an idea about. I mean, that he studied at the Manhattan School of Music. He was friends with Marvin Gaye, Jimi Hendrix.
Wow.
He did it all.
Nice your friend as well. I want to get to Tsepo, so just stick on the line as well as the Monde. But just quick one there on the point that was brought up earlier about the Drakensberg Boys Choir. You clearly come from a family of musical genius. I mean, that's not even debated. But did you need to study to get where you are today?
You know,
you could have
indeed,
done without it?
Certainly I did. I mean, I was I knew quite a bit by the time I was 10. I mean, when I was 10, I had my own choir. And before that, I was helping out choirs, in the, in the Kasi there. And, but going to the Drakensberg, just, we grew up using tonic solfa, which is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. But going to the Drakensberg and learning the rest of it, it just opened up the ceiling, because tonic solfa gives you a ceiling. You can't go beyond do, and just the really knowing how to analyze music. And there were certain things I understood, but I didn't know what they were called.
Okay.
And just the rest of being, just have access to all this international music and the great composers and arrangers and great singers and other choirs of the world.
So best decision of your parents' life, I would think,
and it just opened up the rest of the music world in my mind.
Makaputo is saying, you have sent me floating in the cosmos. Thank you. Obviously listening to yourself. So there you are. Let's get to some of the other callers. Quick one. Tsepo, hi. Tsepo, hi, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Ashraf. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Good to hear from you.
Great. Zwai, all right, but
And the sharp with goes in Janina.
wonderful.
Good.
Hey,
Yes.
I just love your music, guys. I keep on saying to myself, we grew up, myself and my brothers and even sisters, we grew up, more or less like your wonderful story is told. And I keep on saying to them, shucks, you know what, you guys, had we kept to this, we could have been there. So you guys are like a beacon. You're like, that's something that stands out and says, this is what you guys can become.
Yeah.
A lot of people who start off with choral music, they end up losing it altogether. And choral music becomes is quite a great foundation for anyone to start into music from.
Indeed.
And I like your journey, the way you discovered even the other nuances of music and the likes. And I'd like your life to be seen and your progress to be seen as a beacon to everybody else who's starting out and then losing out on music as it is.
Yes.
Yeah. So I
Thanks,
really appreciate you guys.
No,
Okay.
thank you, Pratsep.
Nice. Lovely call there. I'll get one other one before I'll ask you some of my own questions. And the one day in Cape Town, hello.
Hello.
Hi, yes, you're on the air.
Hello. I just love that last song, and I want to say it's wonderful. And in the 80s and the 90s, I was missing Eastern Cape so much. I went around all the music shops in Cape Town. I could find nothing like that. Where can I buy your music today?
Well, my music is available everywhere really now. These are the new releases. My solo album, which has just come out recently, called Indigo Child.
Okay.
And there's also Bala Brothers live at Emperor's Palace, which is a DVD as well as an audio CD.
Okay.
Yeah.
So most places in Cape
Most places should have it. Otherwise, you can go onto our website as well, balabrothers.co.za.
Thank you.
Okay.
And go well. And Kulisa Emakoseni, it's been left out.
Yes, okay,
Since
no.
they drew the line between the whole of the Cape province into two provinces, the Eastern Cape has been neglected. I mean, beyond the Kai River, or beyond the Fish River. So please.
Okay. So did I get your name right? Is it Nomonde?
Yes, it's Nomonde.
All right, okay.
Okay,
Okay,
got that.
Nomonde.
Thank
With
you
my
so
heart
much.
in Kunube.
All right. Thanks, Nomonde.
Monday, talking about the Eastern Cape being left out like a politician. I mean, is that true, Eastern Cape being left out? Just your thoughts on that? Because you come from that region. It's amongst the most impoverished regions in the country.
Yeah, it's really sad. I wouldn't go as far as saying it's been left out, but one thing I do feel is that I feel like that's the one thing I want to do, is to do something for the place. And for me, it's not just going down and build this and build that. For instance, my township where I come from, the problem is in the mind. Our people, like, we've got a problem with alcoholism, and I guess maybe poverty as well plays a big role in that.
So what do you tell them when they see you? Because you're a celebrated person.
yeah.
You go back to that township and I'm guessing that essentially the face of the township hasn't changed. Those that have succeeded have gone out.
Nothing at all. And I know the people do not think beyond Volkswagen is the plant that's there.
Yes.
And beyond that is no longer Tinacha. A lot of people don't. I'm generalizing here. And really people that have made names for themselves are people that went out of those borders and actually went and found a better life for themselves.
Yeah, it seems pretty
And
simple.
actually, the song that you just played now, Ndiza, it's called Ndiza because Ndiza is the game hide and seek.
Okay.
And I talk about where I grew up playing in the river in my grandmother's house, And what I say to young people, like you asked now, what I say to them is that guys, it's all up to you. You must stop just sitting down and expect everything to come to you. Government is not doing this and that for us. So and so is not doing this. Actually, go out there and get it.
And hopefully they take your advice as well. We'll chat lots more too. Live 4 to 6. And of course, AM Live is in the mornings from 6 to 8 and then gets into the forum at 8 from 8 to 9. So listen out for that. Zwai Bala, of course, is with me. So you call yourself a musical entrepreneur. Is that how you describe yourself?
No.
Other people do that.
Yeah, I guess other people
That means what?
do.
A musician is making money.
What is entrepreneur?
Well,
How would you define it?
A business person who sees his music as a business.
I guess I am a business person because I'm always thinking, when people are like, I just want to sing, it's like sing. Or like, give me advice. Zwai, I've been wanting to sing, give me advice. It's like, what kind of advice? And if they come, I just want to be on radio. It's like, no, you can't put in so much time into what you're doing just to be there. And I'll try and give advice in terms of making the most and capitalizing on what you're doing. But I've always thought in a business way.
When did you realize, and it could be you or maybe even your family members, the talent we know, but when did you realize that actually this needs to be made into a business career? Because sometimes people are almost apologetic.
Yeah,
if you've got the talent, I'm just thinking, by the way, we're just talking very topically about Lionel Messi last night. If he's got the talent, his career is soccer. And he makes money from the game,
Absolutely.
but of course gives back. When did you realize that, hold it, I need to make a career from this thing. I need to earn a living out of this.
I was wanting to be a huge superstar or make all the money when I was a child. And back in the apartheid days, people would be like, there's no music, there's no money in that stuff. But I guess my benchmarks or my examples would be like people that I used to see on TV, Michael Jackson's and all those guys.
And they were making money.
I want that. And when I started reading up on the likes of Eddie Murphy and like, these guys have got people working for them. It's like, what? People work for you and you're an entertainer. And I've always been into reading and reading a lot of biographies and so on. Yeah. So I guess for me, like I say, I'm a very curious person. I want to do the next thing that has, that I've never done before. So yeah, I guess it's just a learning thing for me and just a curiosity into the business of music. But then again, the tax issue that hit TKZ not so long ago.
Yeah. So what happened there?
No, we just didn't pay tax.
And then?
As simple as that.
But now you guys all okay now?
Yeah, we okay. That helped me in terms of, being organized.
Being a serious business.
Yeah, but then also, I was actually saying this to one of my employees.
They should have changed the name from TKZ to TAX. Tax.
Or the new album called The Receiver.
Yeah, something along that line.
Yeah, that helped me to really understand because, we had a criminal case as well and having to sit with accountants every day and the court thing, really got me to understand not just the law, but like really just how important it is to keep track and record of what's going on. Even though in this country it's like, to work, I don't know if this is going to come out the right way, but to work legally so hard. It's like, now you've got PAYE to pay, and it's like, these things are just hectic, but I guess they have to be done.
So what you're saying, in fact, you want to work legally. So
yes,
so mustn't misunderstand.
No.
But you, as a musician, you sometimes can't cope and you don't realize there's so many regulations.
And I think maybe that's why some people are just trying to cut corners, but it's important to just do it right. That the less stress on your back is.
Okay. Somebody wants to know: do you have normal family challenges, and if so, well, how do you solve them?
Normal family challenges. Well, I was gonna say what you mean, but actually, let me just answer this one. As a person, I like to find solutions in stuff. I'm not a person that get told news. It's like okay, and then. Okay, what can we do about that? Tell me more so that we can find a solution, and then I'll deal with emotions later on. If it's, got to do with my immediate family now that I'm married and have children, I guess I'm enjoying just the learning curve of having my own experience with my own family.
Indeed, a family within a family.
Yeah, it's like I'm enjoying the process.
Right, there's a couple more. I just want to go through some SMSs because I will play another song in a minute, right? As a family, do you know? Please ask your talented guest is it possible to teach yourself to become an average pianist when you are not a good singer? I am your fan. And then somebody, police here, saying, I've just made a U-turn to go and buy your album. So there you are.
Oh, great.
So you played that role there. TKZ made education important even if you wanted to sing. which is interesting. And there's a whole lot more that are very, very complimentary. Just your thoughts about that? The pianist.
Yeah, look, I mean, a lot of us taught ourselves to play, but I think it's important to just get basics on everything that you do. At least, Louis Armstrong played the trumpet for years, and all along he was using the wrong technique, but he was making great sounds. Like, for instance, if you were a singer, it's easy. You can sing nicely and impress yourself, but if you don't know how to actually save your voice, not hurting your voice, and be able to go longer, it's like great athletes, they still need a coach. So it's important to just have the basics of everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, let's play. I want to get to some of the other Facebook comments, but maybe it's time for another song so we can see, especially those who have not heard Zwai Bala and the Bala brothers in action, because I'm just trying to think now. Riani Green says, and I'll give you time to think about this one. What made you dump Cope? Did he burn his fingers? So he's got a tax issue, he's got a Cope
Riani, I
issue.
know who you are. I'm gonna get you down.
Well, that's the life of a journalist. Going to ask you questions. Okay, let's play a song. Which one is this now?
This is Masibuyelane, a song that Loyiso and myself wrote.
Okay, I'm sure it's going to be great.
Live at Empress Palace.
Okay, Zwai Bala with us in the spotlight. Tell us about this one. Background to the song.
Well,
Brilliant sounds. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
Loyiso wrote this. He said when we were doing the album, he said, there's this piece, man, that I started writing. But I've only got 3 lines for it. And he started playing it for me on the piano. It's like, I want to finish it, and And then I just took it from him. Can you play me the first 3 lines? And then I pick it up, and then we developed a nice middle section, and we needed some words, this course, and we called a friend of ours that you can rely on. He used to do current affairs on
really? Not Riani Green.
No, Keith Ngesi. They actually know each other really well. But then we developed, and he gave us all those nice, those nice sweet loving Xhosa words, which was really cool. And then Said Kukumbela, that song, within like half an hour. And then we got a friend of ours to do an orchestration for it, and it's just one of the favorite songs. That
Oh, lovely. Well, I mean, just the sound, it just resonates so beautifully. So more people buying your albums, I'm sure. So let's go back to the Vuyani Green question about politics. Where are you now?
With regards to politics?
Yeah, you said about you were part of COPE. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I was emotional, like many South Africans were at the time.
Because, I mean, more than the issue of COPE, and I don't want to dwell on COPE.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel that you had to make a statement?
Yes, I had to, and I feel
the country needed some direction.
I still feel that at least I want to be remembered for my integrity and standing for what I believe in, because there's no one else, especially in my field, who took the stand to stand against what they didn't believe in. For me, I believe that the power is still in the electorate, and we're not working for anyone. It's us that need to be convinced. And if you're messing with our vote, then you're messing with and basically that's what it was. And I think a lot of people agree with me that it was a good thing. It's a pity that it didn't work out.
So now, I mean, whether you ally to a political party or even not, I mean, do you make make statements about the country? Do you?
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I think I did a lot of growing up in that period. What happened is that, fine, the ANC won the elections that year, and I don't want to be on the sideline always complaining. I want to be part. I want to participate in the economy. I want to participate. I feel there's a lot that I can offer to my country, and so I just came back and I just want to be part of society. I want to be complaining all the time. So that's basically but I mean, South African politics, there's never a dull moment, I tell you. So, it's just like watching everything go by and just hope for the best. And, somehow we always manage to scrape through.
Indeed. So that's just, so I mean, in terms of now, if you had to meet the President Zuma, what would you put on the agenda?
Oh, I had something on the agenda, but now you're catching me off guard.
You don't want to say it, maybe. What excites you about this country?
What excites me about this country is just there's no other country like this. I think it's besides the dynamics and the diversity that we have. Just I think the placing on the world is just phenomenal. We don't get what other places get.
Yeah, we don't really appreciate it. By the way, Sianda saying the song that you just played made me fall in love again with my husband. So thank you to Loiso and Zwai.
No, well, that's good to hear.
Which is really just quick one. TKZ. I mean, the first names of the alphabets of three singers. Right?
Yes.
It's a brilliant one.
Yes, it's basically the first letter of our names that you know.
So the acronyms.
The acronyms. And it was just so easy. Tukulo just said, TKZ. He just said like that, and we just said, wow, that's it. We didn't have to think, okay,
what's the one thing about you we don't know that you'd love to share with us? It's not commonly known, and just like, I wish people knew that about me.
Yeah, I think people don't know I'm incredibly funny. Well, that's what I'm told.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm told.
Funny at home or on stage? I don't think on stage.
No. Look, I try to bring out the character. I think on the live DVD, people get to really experience that. But there's this idea that I'm just so serious. I guess once people hear I'm the clever black.
Oh, okay. So you're supposed to be serious. But then do you make the effort to sort of...
No, in social...
black can be funny.
Yeah, in social gatherings, I think people that know me, or people that get to know me, they're like, we didn't know... Some even use the word stupid. Didn't know you were this stupid or this foolish.
And did you say thank you?
Well, it's in the middle of a laughter, but I'm not as serious as people think I am. I'm really very easygoing, and I try to break serious situations. Just like, just chill. It's all good.
And I mean, besides the fact that you as a family sing all the time when you invite people, how much of an effort do you guys put into to sort of keep away from your people's musical careers and just be, brothers and sisters and family?
Well, as the large family, I don't know, I do more of that with my family, like with my wife and and kids, and just to do things as a family. Otherwise, I guess when I'm with the other family, we get to talk about all sorts of things that affect us.
But you talk a lot. I mean, let's take Melanie. I mean, she's at Metro now, but she's had a long musical career in terms of understanding music as a presenter, right?
Yeah,
you talk lots about music?
Yeah, well, I mean, not on a on an in-depth level, just about general or maybe business and so on, you know. But I mean, we share a heck of a lot of things, you know, just all sorts of different, from current affairs to just the world. She teaches me a lot because she reads a lot.
She
And
reads the news.
yeah,
as well.
she reads the news as well. Yeah. So I mean, she's very clued up on the news of the world, and if I come across any word in anything I'm reading, I'll be like, baby, what's that? She's like, it means, yeah, like she's like my
All right, we got about 30 seconds to go.
encyclopedia.
So who's the one South African that really impresses you now? Leaving aside family and your wife, you know, who excites you as a South African?
Right now, well, I mean, don't know right now, but I mean, I've always held Thabo Mbeki in high regard, and always just wanted to meet with him and just check just how he is, just when he.
And you'd appreciate his
conversates.
poetry. I'm an African, which I think is certainly well worth repeating anyway. Is there a book you'd recommend that we should read?
What am I reading right now? Yes, indeed. What books am I reading now? Baby, where are you? I will tweet it to you.
All right, you
I will
tweet it to me, and for all the rest of us.
But a good book that I read is actually on Second Now. On
What's
Second
it
Now, I
called?
read a few years ago. It's called The Life of Pi. I can't wait to go and see the movie.
Oh, the movie. Okay,
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, because I read the book and I thought it was great.
Okay,
so
my
I'm going-
quick one. If you don't see any other movies this next 6 months, go and see The Life of Pi.
Yes,
I think
and
it's easy to
Zambezia.
start better. And Zambezia, of course,
Yes.
because you get fantastic soundtrack. Well, I'll tell you what, great chatting to you, Zwai. Thanks so
you
much
very
for
much
your
for
time,
having
and
me, Ashraf.
hopefully there's lots more about your career we'll talk about some other time, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's been great putting you in the spot, and 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 great putting you